How many people watch Where Streams Are Dreams?
Where streams are dreams.
Where streams are dreams. How many
and
people
the
watch
dreams
it?
are popcorn.
All aboard!
Hey!
Huh?
Oops! What? Whoa! Yeah!
Welcome, everybody, to episode 43 of Where Streams Come True, the show where we suffer through the entire good and bad of Disney+. I'm your host, Collins, and joining me today are guests. First time to the show, Andrew. And we have
Hi.
Logan as well. Hi. And this week we had the pleasure of watching Johnny Kapahala back on board, the 2007 Disney Channel original movie directed by Eric Bross and direct sequel to Johnny Tsunami.
Let's go.
It was released in 1999, I think. So I want to get this out of the way out of the gate. We were completely wrong last time. No, that was okay. You weren't on that episode where we were confused about the premise of this movie because it mentions that his grandfather is Johnny Tsunami, but his grandfather is not the character from Johnny Tsunami. His grandpa's nickname is just also Johnny Tsunami
Because Disney movie.
because Disney. So we were like,
Right.
this movie came out 8 years later and features the character's grandson, but no, it's the same character. We just didn't know who Johnny Tsunami was.
I'm a bit confused by that because they said in the thing, he's like, you know me by another name. And they don't reference it. So is this like a copyright thing? Is this like it's a sequel?
Probably not.
The weird thing about if it was copyright is Disney owns the rights, so it's not really one of those.
That's what's confusing.
Unless Johnny Tsunami is a real person.
I don't
Wait,
know.
what?
Johnny Tsunami's a real person. and
Like-
they committed
like Cool
war crimes
Runnings
in
is
this
based
8
off real
years,
people.
So they had to change the name.
Wait, Johnny Tsunami is a real person?
Maybe.
Yeah, war criminal, obviously.
Or criminal?
Johnny Tsunami. Decom. Who died from Johnny Tsunami? Lee
Wow.
Thompson Young.
Wait, someone
Wait,
dies
somebody-
in it?
What?
No,
That was a lot
I think
heavier than
the
Johnny Kapahala.
I think the grandpa actor died.
Oh, well, rest in peace.
No, Johnny
Grandpa.
Tsunami is not a real person.
Are you telling me that the guy that played a really old grandpa from this movie in 2007 is dead 13 years later? Shocker.
Rest
So
in peace, man.
yeah, I don't know
Rest in
why it's called
pepperoni.
Johnny Tsunami because like Johnny Kapahala is the main character.
In both
And his
movies?
grandpa, yeah, in the both movies, and his
Okay.
grandpa's named Johnny Tsunami. So why is the first
Why can't
movie
I get-
named after the grandpa?
I loosely remember Johnny Tsunami, and I swear there was another character named Johnny Tsunami, and maybe it
Which
was
is the
like
grandpa.
flashbacks of the grandpa or something like that, but I don't remember exactly.
Well, we're not here to talk about Johnny Tsunami. We're here to talk about Johnny Kapahala back on board. Is there a... Oh.
I tried to look at the budget. I couldn't
Oh,
find it.
there is only one comment, and it's mine, and it's incorrect, so I'm gonna... Oh, wait, I have to sign in.
What'd you do?
I asked on the wiki, did Johnny Tsunami become a grandfather in a decade, or does this movie take place in the future? Neither. Johnny Tsunami is not Johnny Kapahala. Anyway, whatever. This movie does
Good
take
job.
place 10 years after, 10, whatever, and he's not a little baby boy snowboarder. Or something. Anyway, Johnny Kapahala returns to Hawaii to attend his grandfather's wedding, but instead of catching a few waves while he's in town, Johnny's got his hands full keeping an eye on Uncle Chris, the 12-year-old son of his grandfather's fiance. Initial thoughts to start off with. Have you seen this movie before? What was your experience the first viewing and now returning to the movie? And besides that, just initial thoughts.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie, even though it would have come around
definitely
right when I
haven't.
was watching Disney Channel originals, which is weird. But
Yeah, 2007. I'm
2007.
surprised I didn't
was
see
like,
it.
I would have seen that, but I don't remember any of it. So
Recognize the Wizards of Waverly Place kid.
yeah, I was gonna say
but-
Chris is eventually Max from Wizards of Waverly Place, and I'm like, huh.
Oh,
He's
you look at
also just a little in that too.
I mean, to be honest, Max was
Less.
my favorite character in Wizards of Waverly Place because he was definitely like the I guess the Sokka.
youngest sibling
the
surrogate.
dumbest, the funniest of them usually.
I've never seen
funny by
Avatar.
Disney standards.
Funny by Disney standards.
Yeah,
at
Yes.
we're
least.
like, haha, joke, and then laugh track.
Exactly.
He wins the sub shop in the end, so in my opinion. He gets the
That's
best
what
out
happens
of
at
it.
the
He
end
wants
of
to
the
be
movie?
a wizard. Huh?
That's what happens at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Oh.
So both the older siblings, Selena Gomez and the other guy.
The other guy.
They
Do hard
they
drugs.
both become wizards, and then Max gets the sub shop. So
Oh, because I remember there's a whole thing where like only one of them can stay a wizard or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
So they
it
find a
ends up-
loophole.
it ends up Alex or Selena Gomez is the one that wins it, and then what's his buckets is gets a position with like the Ministry of Magic. Now
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
remember what the organization is called,
Is
but whatever government
The
organization
Ministry
runs.
of Wadrick.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
I
he
only
gets to
saw
keep
up to
his
the first
wizard
movie and then
power
I
too.
lost the plot from there.
Yeah, he gets to keep his wizard power too. So
I got depressed after they had that Halloween special where they like basically killed off both love interests of this older siblings.
they did.
Yeah, where the vampire, the brother's love interest is a vampire girl,
Yeah.
and her love interest is a werewolf boy.
Yep.
And they get into a fight with each other, which makes the vampire girl turn old. So she
Oh,
leaves, and then the werewolf guy
right.
turns permanently into a wolf and leaves.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And it
Well,
was
that's not killed
super
off. I
That's
was
not
gonna
killed
say,
off. That's
heavy.
Just, that's just
Oh!
written
practically.
out.
It's very
Yeah.
it's very sad.
Disney contracts must have just ran out, so and they couldn't.
And they're
resign.
like, time to
Juliet, yeah, that's
break
right. The
some
vampire's name was
children's
Juliet.
hearts.
They were vegetarian vampires.
To be fair, Wizards of Waverly Place was like a B plus, B minus.
Yeah, it's like a double A.
I mean, like it's
Show.
not like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which is like
Sweet
A
Life of
tier,
Zack and
S
Cody.
tier of
Yeah, it
Disney
was
Channel
S tier.
series.
They got the spin-off show. I think London got like her own show for a bit.
What
Whatever.
is Brenda Song up to?
What is Brenda Song up to these days?
That's the
Put-
big
put it in the
question.
comments below.
Singing.
Okay. Any initial thoughts from you, Logan?
If it's like even vaguely off the mainstream for Disney, I haven't watched it. So clearly I haven't seen this movie. My initial thoughts, that little 12-year-old kid Max, he sucks. Chris.
He's Max. in
He's
Wizards
Max
of
Max.
Waverly.
Whatever. Chris, you suck.
He sucks.
And the writing for his character kind of sucked too.
I mean,
Here's a question that I came to partway through the movie. How much of this movie's plot would have been instantly resolved if there was another kid on the entire island of Hawaii the same age as Chris? Because his only peers were 5 years older than him and heads.
yeah, that was real weird.
And it's like, is there
Yeah.
no one else in this neighborhood this kid's age that he can hang out with?
so which
Like, it's Hawaii.
It's
which-
Hawaii.
which
Like,
island is Johnny Kapahala supposed to take place on?
that's a good question. Probably Hawaii.
Hawaii?
It's Disney Channel, so
I mean-
Occam's razor is usually
mean,
the
it-
solution.
They're
I-
probably very vague about
Yeah,
it.
it kind of looked more like Hawaii to me, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Snob.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't
I
know.
probably just
Fun
picked them out
fact,
there.
Did Johnny's dad look familiar to either of you?
He looked very familiar.
His dad.
Yeah,
know.
that is because that actor is Chosen from Karate Kid 2.
That doesn't help me because I never saw Karate Kid 2. I only saw the first
Ew,
one.
I'm dumb, huh?
Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
recognize him.
I recognized him because he was on Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
And then I was like, is that Chosen? I don't know if that's Chosen. I checked. I'm like, yeah.
yeah. It was
That's
like
cool.
I knew I.
So
saw
that
him from
means
somewhere,
it's
so-
I
never
feel like it'd be
explored in the
easier to
movie.
recognize him from Cobra Kai than Karate Kid 2, given the age difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the same like very angular face.
Mhm.
Very intense. Like half the time in the movie, I'm expecting it to do the Karate Kid thing where like he looks angry at the camera and there's a taiko drum, which happens a lot in Karate Kid 2.
Really?
Yeah, he'll just be
yeah.
like,
I feel like that.
Ba-bum!
I feel like that could have been read wrong.
yeah.
in the Kapahala movie.
It was like, please, like the freaking mountain board shop owner was like, please go kick his ass. I don't care if this character doesn't know karate. I just want you to kick his ass.
It would be kind of funny, not
that
gonna
would be
lie.
great. But this does mean it's
would've
never
been
explored in the
so
movie.
confusing.
So Johnny's parents are Chinese and white, and his grandfather is presumably Native Hawaiian.
So why does
I
Johnny
think that
turn
they're
into like
trying-
some?
So
they're
actually-
trying to pass his dad as Native Hawaiian as well.
Okay, because his
I think that's more interesting if like
Because-
his grandmother was Chinese, so he's
How does that happen?
but somehow
How
John,
is that physically?
yeah, Johnny
possible?
Kapahala looks more Hawaiian than he does like any.
Then he does quarter Hawaiian, quarter white, quarter Chinese,
Yeah.
quarter
Quarter-
cocker spaniel. I don't know.
So what? I mean, what is his grandpa? Is he supposed to be Native Hawaiian?
I literally think that all three of the men there are supposed to be Native Hawaiian, and
They just
Disney
couldn't-
was
Oh,
like,
he
"Ah,
might
they
not
would've
be.
They
noticed."
just must have not been.
No,
able to find
he's
Native Hawaiians.
Japanese.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
okay,
the
that makes
grandfather,
sense.
the grandfather is Shang Tsung from the old Mortal Kombat movies.
That's why his
I don't-
acting's so bad.
Shang Tsung?
Whoa, you're going after the grandpa?
No, just kidding. He was fine.
I was like,
I mean, it just
he's dead.
So he's not
obviously.
Hawaiian.
obviously
So
his
he's a way worse actor now.
his movies that he gets given just
Yeah,
have
Shang Tsung.
terrible scripts. Because
So okay, so Johnny's grandfather is Japanese, his
Mhm.
father is Chinese. Is he
Johnny's
though?
kind of Native Hawaiian.
He was. I mean, I'm not sure if he's Chinese.
Have we
because
given
he was
thought
just
that Johnny
in-
might be a milk baby, a milkman baby?
What is that? Oh no! I mean, no, wait, no, yeah, this
could
doesn't
be-
make any sense.
He could be a milkman or a mailman baby.
He may just be Japanese. His dad was in Karate Kid 2. That doesn't mean that he is from China just because the movie takes place in China.
I thought Karate
Um,
Kid 2 takes place in Japan.
No.
Almost
Wait,
like American
they're going
movies
back.
are
Yeah,
racist
Mr.
and
Oh
Miyagi's
right,
going
man,
back
I was
home.
getting it confused with the Jackie Chan Karate
You
Kid.
mother.
Oh my gosh, that's China.
So yes, he is Japanese.
So yeah,
Okay.
Johnny Kapahala is Japanese.
Johnny Kapahala
Johnny
is
Kapa-
Japanese. Even
Johnny
though he does
Kapahala
not,
is half Japanese, half white.
he does not look Japanese.
He does
doesn't
not
look
look
Papa.
Japanese.
He does not look white.
I mean, just speaking from I am half Japanese, half white. He looks nothing like he's half Japanese, half white.
Nah, I can see it.
Okay, so let's look at Brandon Baker.
I bet you he is.
If he is, I'm gonna chuck a chair.
He
No,
was in the
no,
live action
I'm sorry,
film
I
Jungle
think he was
Book
the
Mowgli's Story when he was 12.
Huh.
Okay.
He's from California. But that doesn't.
Well, every actor's from California.
Every?
Today he works as a
Majority.
wedding
Michael
officiant.
Okay, maybe not him, but don't-
Matthew McConaughey.
okay, Matthew McConaughey is from Texas. It's essentially the same thing.
I
Tom
don't-
Hanks.
Isn't Tom Hanks from California?
I actually don't know.
I mean, he has a T-shirt that just has Hawaii on it.
I could literally just name all the British actors.
Well, yeah, but
I win.
I just mean like U.S. actors.
Robert De Niro.
Never mind then. We're
No,
done with this
he's he's
conversation.
half
Is
half
New
You're,
York-
you're
He's from
right.
New
You're
York.
right.
he's half Filipino.
That's not Japanese.
So he's half Filipino, half white.
That's
Presumably.
not
I mean,
Japanese.
and,
though.
and his dad and grandpa are Japanese, and the actor for him is
If you
half
think
Filipino.
about it,
Who
Filipino-
cast this movie?
Filipino is closer to Japanese than Chinese, if geographically.
no,
I
no,
think-
it's not.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like if you're talking like think
You're
about
like-
how high China is, how large China is.
If you're like from like fucking Okinawa, that
Okinawans are a completely different ethnicity though
they
than
are.
Japanese. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that. Because it's all in the Philippines.
No, the Philippines isn't. Okinawa is not in the Philippines.
It's not.
No, Okinawa is off the coast of Japan.
Well, hey, World
Like
War
off
II
of
history
Kyushu.
has taught me wrong about geography. That's what it is.
I mean, Philippines is kind of like midway between Japan and Taiwan. Not quite, maybe a little bit more south, but
Or
like,
some people call it
But
the
still not
Philippines.
closer than China.
well, remember,
They
China
don't
goes.
share a border,
China
dude.
reaches up big boy. Like we're talking, China goes all the way to the North Korean border.
Yeah. But
I
that's
think-
that's south.
I think my confusion less
North
came
Korean border?
from the
I
Jackie
thought-
Chan Karate Kid, and
Or am
more
I
because of
thinking-
the whole
I'm
thing
thinking
in
of fucking
Cobra Kai.
Vietnam.
Yes, China
I'm
connects to
thinking
about
Russia
how
and North
karate was
Korea
made
and
with the
Mongolia,
Chinese
which
guy and the
are all
Japanese
like
guy.
northern.
What?
Huh?
We're talking about World War II.
Yeah, I think my root of the confusion was because of Cobra Kai and the whole backstory with Mr. Miyagi talking about how karate was invented when a Chinese guy and a Japanese guy beat the crap out of each other, and then we're like, hey, what if we?
Is that true?
Is that how that worked?
Is that true?
I don't know.
They beat
Is it
the
true or is it just
They fought
sensationalism?
and then they made a fusion of the two martial arts or something. There was a fisherman involved. I don't know. Ask Mr. Miyagi if that's true.
Fishermen
I won't.
would be great martial artists.
They would be.
I watched a movie. with
But
Mr.
there,
Miyagi
yeah,
recently.
there's definitely something in that about how karate came from a fusion of someone from China and someone from Japan.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
Side note: the Yakuza movie had Mr. Miyagi in it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
My guy.
Just the actor or Mr. Miyagi
No,
himself?
it's the actor.
May he
Are you
rest
sure
in
about that?
peace.
Maybe he
played
changed his
someone
name.
else, but he was Mr. Miyagi.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. Let's go into the full review now.
Now that we've gotten sidetracked by World War II.
So this
Ethnicities
review
of
comes this
actors.
review comes courtesy of the Disney Wiki. All hail.
Okay.
All hail.
All hail.
The
Sorry.
Disney Wiki.
Ah, hell!
Yeah, periodically we will, this is a new thing that we do on the show now, is
Okay.
periodically we visit the comment sections of different Disney Wiki.
Oh, this is perfect.
Channels.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's sure. Let's Johnny Kapahala doesn't have a Disney Wiki page.
What the am I allowed to swear?
It'll be censored, but yeah, you are
I don't
allowed
know,
to
I
swear.
Disney Wiki?
I never asked Colin. to
How
just
can
swear.
you have no page for Johnny Kapahala back on board? One
Why
of the
don't the
greatest,
why don't the
He's
characters
back on
have
board.
the characters don't have pages? That's fine. Brandon Baker has a page though. It has no comments. Well, there goes all the
That
comments.
doesn't
for
make
this
sense
episode.
because Johnny Tsunami, from what I gather, was actually a pretty successful Disney movie.
Yeah.
Well, the
What
original
world?
one was. I think Johnny Kapahala back on board killed the trilogy. So
Oh no.
Oh, what sport was he gonna learn in the third movie?
I don't know. He already learned snowboarding,
Longboarding.
surfing. It was basically longboarding.
Longboarding is not it's a leisure activity, not a sport.
It was extreme longboarding.
pennyboarding,
hoverboarding.
hoverboarding. Johnny Kapahala
just
Back
skating.
to the Future.
No, he already know he learned how to skateboard in the first movie.
Ah,
Wait, what they could have done is Johnny Kapahala Back to the Future, where they get a cameo from Michael J. Fox.
No, okay, we're going into the full review now.
whatever the skiing is, where you shoot a gun at the same time as you ski down a mountain.
Ski shooting?
Yeah, ski shooting. I thought it had
It's
a
not
different
called
name.
ski shooting.
It's called like the biathlon.
It's a
or something.
biathlon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's called.
I like
Dang
ski
it,
shooting
Andrew.
better.
We
Biathlon
begin.
is just a bunch of
I would
bisexual
like to
people
watch it. Have you guys seen the biathlon at the Olympics?
Yes.
This, of course, is taking place during the Olympics when we're
They've got
filming
that
this.
they've got that weird hook that makes it look like they're shooting a crossbow if you're looking at it from an angle.
around. Yeah,
But it's a gun. And I'm
And
like,
then
oh, it's not a crossbow. That's dope. It's not a crossbow.
They gotta keep it on their shoulder.
So, Johnny,
Johnny.
Pono, Kapahala. I don't know what that means.
That was just his nickname.
Yeah, does anybody know what Pono means in Hawaiian?
They do say it a
they
lot.
clued into it at the end, and I already forgot what it meant.
Pono Hawaiian
was like
meaning.
tadpole.
Wow.
Tadpole? I think it's tadpole.
Necessary? It means or righteousness.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Oh.
Or righteous.
Johnny did no wrong.
Johnny is an
Johnny's
amazing...
he's a good
Yeah,
protagonist.
Johnny's a good protagonist.
The rest of the movie's garbage.
Yeah.
What would we argue too good to the fact that there's not really much of
He's a
an
Mary Sue.
internal
Because,
struggle?
to be-
because, like,
Not really.
Yeah, there are no...
he's pretty
This movie's
consistent.
not about
Like,
him, but
mentally
he's
healthy people don't make good movies.
Because the definite
Yeah.
the definite lessons learned were from Chris.
Chris.
Like,
Yeah.
there's-
What does Johnny learn anything? Not really.
Johnny learns jack.
Johnny doesn't
Johnny
even
is
learn
a
how to
side
mountain board.
character.
Johnny learned how to mountain board, except he doesn't know how to break.
Yeah,
apparently,
I thought he would
so-
learn that by the end of the movie. Anyway, we started at the beginning of the movie. Johnny Pono Kapahala, a teen snowboarding champion from Vermont, returns to Oahu, Hawaii. Okay, so it's in Oahu.
Okay.
I don't know the islands of Hawaii.
Oahu
That's the big
is
one.
the capital island where Honolulu is.
So presumably there's more than one 12-year-old.
I feel like it's just
On the
just being
island.
like, which one? Let's do the best one.
or sorry, not
Oahu.
Oahu's not the capital island.
Oh, okay.
Oahu's the most populated island.
Okay, so presumably there would be a second 12-year-old for Chris to hang out with.
yeah, it's definitely not one of those like
Okay.
especially if they're outside of Honolulu or something. Like Honolulu's a city of
Mm-hmm.
5 million people, I want to say, maybe a little less. But 12-year-olds would be at Honolulu.
12-year-olds exist, but not in this canon apparently.
I had a friend who grew up in Hawaii, and talked about like hunting mountain pigs and stuff when he was
Yeah.
12.
That's fun.
Yeah, they're like feral hogs just all over the place apparently.
yeah, like Honolulu's
That's my
an
favorite part of Far
actual
Cry 3.
Honolulu's an actual city, like
Yes.
skyscrapers and stuff. So there would be a 12-year-old there.
So he's returning. Maybe. He's returning for the wedding of his grandfather, local surf legend Johnny Tsunami. Not the character from the first movie. Johnny is the character from the first movie, not Johnny. Johnny is excited for the marriage as he anticipates having an uncle to hang out with. But eventually realizes
Who wants to hang out with her?
his uncle Chris is a 12-year-old brat.
Wait. I have a quick
So
question.
this skips a lot, so I'm gonna go to my other notes.
So the grandpa's named Johnny, and
Yeah.
Johnny Kapahala is named Johnny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the dad also named Johnny?
No, the dad's name is Pete.
Why?
You gotta skip a generation, baby.
Yeah, but he is Johnny Kapahala the second in the credits.
Yeah. So but that's not how that works. You need to have another Johnny in between. in order to...
Okay, got an issue already. It says that Jake T. Austin plays Christopher Kapahala. His name doesn't change to Kapahala.
Whose?
Chris.
Which one's Chris?
Chris
Oh,
is the
Chris
kid.
Is the kid.
Even if they do get married, he doesn't need to change his last name to Kapahala.
Well, maybe Chris feels
Maybe
like
he picks it at the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
Whatever.
Maybe he's
Spoiler
like
alert.
Grandpa
It's a
Johnny
Disney Channel.
Kapahala.
Disney Channel. Nothing ever bad
Ye-
happens in a
Oh
Disney
yeah.
Channel
Pete.
movie.
Pete Kapahala, which is a name that is neither Hawaiian or Japanese.
Should've
or
called him-
Johnny.
Mm.
This movie's weird.
This movie's weird. And
We had
confusing on
freaking
its
you had
premise
freaking
alone.
Shang Tsung and his son Chozen, but you named them Johnny. Whatever.
Johnny,
And they're just
Pete.
like side characters.
Well, nah, the grandpa's a
Okay,
main
yeah.
character.
So it skips
dad's
a
just
lot.
kinda there.
The dad's
The
just
kid's a
there.
He's
brat.
like, food and clothes. That's just spiel.
Haha.
Yeah. Okay. The recap skips to the skate park.
Oh,
So we're gonna talk a little bit about the other stuff that happens.
have you guys ever seen a mountain board before this movie?
Yes.
Okay, because I was not really familiar with a mountain board.
I don't know the
so-
context,
It literally looks.
but I've
like-
definitely seen mountain boards
it
before. I've
just
never
looks
been
like
mountain
a
boarding.
beefed up longboard that doesn't.
Yeah,
tilt.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
how would you, like,
How do you break?
yeah, well, not just how do you brake, but how do you like accelerate on those things? Do you just ride down hills like normal longboards, or do you?
It has to be gravity because
because
your feet are strapped.
Yeah,
in.
because you have
Yeah.
straps, so you can't just accelerate off of it like
Nah, I
you
think
can a
it's all gravity.
skateboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you like crouch.
That's why
you like
they have
crouch. You like
rails.
crouch
So-
down.
So
to-
you need to find like a hill if you want a mountain board.
Yeah.
Of course.
a hill
Yeah.
to die on. Bum, 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 bum. Okay,
Spoiler
can
alert.
we talk about so Chris is like whatever and goes off to hang out with his dumbass friends that
Yeah.
Friends.
Okay.
that
Oh, yeah, they kept trying to make this.
he goes with him to like this quarry area or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Can we talk about the audio in this scene?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed this, but it gets super compressed
Mhm.
when they're in these outdoor
Yeah,
shots.
so
there
what-
are so many things. There's so many holes. Like even at the beginning when they're riding in the car and they're
Yeah.
cutting to these obvious stock photo shots.
hmm
They cut to like 480p every time.
Yep.
It's
And
real
then it
bad.
cuts
What-
back to full 1080, and I'm like, what in the world?
The thing about the bowl or whatever, I was wondering whether they just had like an absolute boatload of wind and they just
Yeah.
didn't know how to noise reduce and they just compressed it instead in order to try
And they
make it-
didn't have enough budget to do ADR.
Yeah.
Because like it's obvious, like I thought that something
mean,
was wrong with my iPad while I was watching. But
I'm
like, no, that's
assuming-
just the audio of the scene because it goes back to normal the scene after.
I fully expect Disney Plus to do, or
Yeah.
Disney shows to do that.
It's a Disney Channel original movie, so we do have to give it the sense of they don't put a lot of time and effort into these things because Disney
They
just
maybe had
shot out-
$1
they shot out maybe how many Disney Channel original movies did they shoot over the 2000 to 2010 range? Like probably
I don't know.
50. Like
so many. I don't know. They did multiple a year. It probably would have.
yeah, they did at least like
3
3 a year usually. So
Yeah.
like that just goes to show when you're making that many movies how much budget you can give per movie. They probably just didn't have people who could. They couldn't afford people who
must
could
have worked.
sound edit.
They
Like,
couldn't afford.
They couldn't afford anything.
You hear that? Disney could afford
This
something.
also-
Remember that time?
This brings us to that scene brings us to montage count 1.
Oh, do we get to talk about the action shots? Because-
Talk about the action shots.
Because so I don't know whether
every
you,
shot has a different filter on it.
Yeah, have any of our viewers ever seen like I don't know skateboarding competitions or snowboarding
MTV.
competitions or anything that
Brink.
has just literal skateboarders? All they were doing was just simple grabs and just ollies. Like that was about it. Which like I don't know.
Kind of thinking that too,
I mean, you
especially
could
being
at least
Lost
just
Boys.
I don't know teach somebody to kick flip. I mean, I don't need to see something absolutely amazing.
Do a flip.
Yeah, just do a 360 in the air. Just like something not.
I think
I don't
Disney
know.
Channel can get away with it because it is all kids, so they don't. Kids
There
don't know the source content
Because all they
This-
would do is just play some sort of rock
or the
music.
subject matter. I
Like
guess
the comparison, like of course, like I'm just comparing this to Brink. Brink had like actual stunts,
Yeah.
and tricks in the movie.
that's fair.
But like the closest we get here, it's very obvious. During a later scene where Chris is doing tricks on like the log and stuff, he'll go to do a trick. It'll cut to a shot of like just his legs and like doing
Mhm.
the trick, and
Yeah.
it's obviously a grown ass man doing the
Just
stuff
doing
Yeah.
the trick because
because
you know,
his legs are suddenly just much longer. But it's not even
pretty
like
funny.
the closest they get is like a grind to a 180.
the
That's
the one
it.
thing they did was during that when they went to the pros, there were some guys that could actually move
Yeah.
that mountain
Yeah.
board in the
I'm
air,
assuming that
which-
one guy was an actual celebrity.
It was actually pretty impressive because those mountain boards
The
look like
dreadlock guy.
yeah.
I thought they were making a play on Tony Hawk.
Those mountain boards do not look like they're easy to move around.
No,
in the
they
air.
don't.
So like, I was actually pretty impressed that guy could do spins and like whatever he did on that ramp. So
It works. I was fine.
Is
because
this
I knew it
before
was
or
Disney Channel.
after-
That's-
also, did anybody
Kinda my
else think they
mantra,
defied physics a couple of times and just like because on
Okay.
the mountain boards when they were going off of those dirt hills originally, I was like, how can you elevate off of those because they're just uphill slopes? Like unless you have momentum,
You have a
can't
lot of
really-
momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like some of them may have been like flatter angles, and
Mm.
they just like tilted the camera. Can we also talk about the opening of this movie
Opening.
where he has a dream sequence where he
Oh
dies?
yeah, he just falls off of a
It
cliff.
made
Like
zero sense.
And then suddenly he's
you guys see-
surfing, and he's like, ah!
you guys see the real garbage green screen the
Oh,
entire
it was
time?
very good. It was very fun.
So essentially,
on
it looked like he was a little paper cutout just slapped on one of those like
It
like,
was-
stock image
all
photos.
I
it
knew-
didn't even look like stock. It literally looked like they made it in Blender.
Yeah.
Like when he's like at the top of the mountain, I'm like, ew.
And like there's a line that he says where he's like, if I knew what would happen, I would have never left that mountain. Like what happens in this movie that's so bad that
Because
he would have rather stayed in Vermont?
Nothing happens that
Johnny-
was bad.
This is a leg.
No.
Strap in.
Like
Johnny literally just
for a bit I thought like, oh, he gets injured and that's why he has to go back to Hawaii.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no, because it's not real.
You want to know what happens to
Yeah,
him?
so there's not really a mountain for him to stay on.
He gets to go back. Here's what happens to him in this movie.
Or does he mean or is the mountain the dream? So he will wish he didn't wake up.
Yeah.
And it just died on the car ride back
to
to
12-year-old. I'd rather just freeze on a mountain.
The only thing that Johnny does on this movie is gets to go back home and surf with his grandpa every day. I don't see what's bad about that.
Yeah,
Like,
he has to deal with his shithead uncle, which like
Not only that, like he's
Mood.
morally unwavered throughout the whole thing.
like
yeah.
I'd like to hang out with Johnny.
He
Sina-
gets
or
annoyed.
Johnny Kapahala.
That is
He,
it.
yeah, he like raises his voice at Chris one
Once,
time,
which like
and that's it. Like I do love how just nonstop condescending he and his friend are towards Chris whenever Chris thinks he's being hot.
Yeah. Like
He's like, I don't need to be watched.
Sure. And then Chris runs off and they're like, huh. And the only time Johnny ever yelled at him was that one time where he ran off and Chris is like, oh boy.
Yeah, he like goes into his room and he's like,
Beat up.
I just want my grandpa to be happy. And you're freaking dumb. You're a dumb piece of
Yeah.
This
Your
movie
voice
would have been a lot
squeaks.
better with, a rated R just for language.
I was literally
for the
thinking like
cussing
this
out.
movie would jump up 10 positions in the ranking if someone swore at Chris.
You want to know what
It's
they
like,
should have
listen
had?
here, you little.
I think at one point, he does say, to hell with it. And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa.
Whoa, Disney movie.
Disney.
I think they should have had J.K. Simmons in here at some point and then just him just go off at Chris because
He knows how to verbally abuse young children and teenagers. And
As an actor, not as a real person,
or at least we think.
I think. Is J.K. Simmons kosher?
He seems
I
like
think
he's
so.
an okay guy.
He seems pretty cool to
Yeah,
me.
go see if he's been canceled.
Oh,
The next day,
I like
after everything that we just went through, Sam and Johnny, Sam's Johnny's
Friend
is
that-
his
was he in
choom,
the first movie?
probably.
Because the way they talk about
Because
him.
he knows how to
Yeah.
skateboard.
Okay.
he probably was a lot more involved in the first movie.
Oh,
from what
probably.
I gather from.
He's funny in this. I like him.
Yeah, he was good.
Sam and Johnny catch Chris heading off with the Dirt Devils.
Dirt Devil.
Okay,
Oh, we get to talk about the villains.
let's talk about the Dirt Devils.
Yeah.
We've got a colonizer and
A
his underage employee
Oh, that's right.
because he wants
And
to
then-
build condos.
And then there's
yeah.
also the love interest that's not a love interest, which confused me a bunch because I was at
And there's
first,
like a bit where Chris like is about to say that she's
like,
his girlfriend.
Yeah, and I'm like, bruh, she's
Like,
like,
bro, you're 12.
she's like 8 years older than you. Like these
Like,
kids are
she
supposed
would
to be
go
like
to
18
jail.
or 20. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Johnny is supposed to be like 18 or close to
18
18
or 20 or
J.K.
something like that. Like
Simmons-
they're supposed to be adults in this movie, which makes sense. They look
Yeah.
like adults.
J.K.
so-
Simmons recalls the time he inadvertently headbutted Lupita Young.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o. There you go. That's your controversy.
He accidentally headbutted notable actors.
So-
Dirt Devils.
Dirt
So
Devils,
we've got
right.
my favorite vacuum.
We've got asshole
Right.
white man,
Asshole white man colonizer.
asshole white man colonizer.
Just like
And then-
Brink, it's a guy who's like, skateboard sponsorship. we'll
Yeah.
give you gear.
what is it with
What
these
a trope
movies
is
and
this?
having
Plus,
like
or
a
Disney
grown
Channel.
like middle-aged men having a weird fascination with sponsoring children?
I wonder whether Disney is like completely
thing is,
aware
I
of
know
how
it's
much
real.
of
Yeah, it is real.
I've known people who've been like screwed over. By
We
skate
had the whole
sponsorship.
conversation with Brink about like exploiting minors for
Yeah,
like sponsorship deals and
Here's
stuff.
the weird thing.
They
I-
didn't even talk about the payout for this movie.
Yeah. I almost feel like with Disney, they're very aware that they're a corporate piece of shit. So
Yes.
like, and so for every single Disney movie, Disney Channel original movie, they always like to put some evil corporation in it because
but at the same time, we'll get to it later.
Barely a corporation.
They put some nice businessman who's going to
Yeah.
do business good.
And they're like, haha, let's make your dreams come true.
And-
Winky face with a Mickey Mouse.
and his big defining characteristic is he likes to own things.
Yeah.
He's a colonizer.
Yeah. And like it's a
He's
wonder that his
so
business is
good.
failing because his only employees are teenagers who
Yeah.
don't like do you at any point
Irresponsible teenagers.
at any point in this movie do we see someone go into the Dirt Devil shop to buy something?
No.
No. It's just him hanging around with a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah, the only people
not
that
moving any product.
I
the
mean,
only
to be fair,
other-
we've seen the store like 3 times in the whole movie.
The only
and it's like
maybe.
really dimly lit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
The only other
Just
people
back
that
it up
actually show up to a store is the people that show up to Johnny Tsunami's surf shop.
Yeah,
So, like,
because like he sells surfboards, but he also sells like t-shirts and like other types of local merchandise.
he can actually merchandise.
When you're
Unlike
doing
that
a small business,
one
you can't be an
specific-
asshole.
Oh, yeah, he
guy.
only sells mountain boarding equipment, which in Hawaii is a niche sport. Because
And-
there's, as they say, like there's not that many safe places to board.
because they're on the ocean.
They're on they're on an island.
That'd be pretty dope.
That would be pretty dope.
I don't know. I mean, maybe a surfboard shop would do better than a mountain boarding shop because,
None of the individual Daredevils are memorable enough to really talk about too much.
Except for
There's the one. There's the blonde.
The love interest.
The love interest. Yes.
Except she's not a love interest. So here's what
I think
Can I
she
talk
is.
about her?
Yeah, you could talk about
I am
her.
so confused because
Val.
yeah, Val. When her and Johnny met, I'm like, she's the love interest.
Meet
Yeah.
cute.
And then they start flirting or whatever. Johnny teaches her how to surf, and like she gives him
Her
her
number.
number,
get
and then
there.
like nothing happens after that because
Yeah.
just like
No, I honest to God think that she was a love interest, and they just weren't writing it very clear enough. And maybe they were planning for a third movie where that was supposed to come to fruition.
maybe, but like I
Yeah.
was just so confused because she literally has the line where Johnny's trying to like say she's pretty or whatever.
Yeah,
and
and
she's
she's
like,
like, "Are
you're
you-
dense. And I'm
Yeah,
just
are
like,
you always
yeah,
this
yeah.
slow?
Are you always this slow? And I'm
like
like,
the typical
That's
like this is how I
flirting, though.
wish
Yeah.
girls would talk to me.
I will say the second that we saw her and she popped up on screen, I was like, oh shit, it's time for another feminist tomboy trope in a Disney Channel movie.
Which-
I can't wait.
Didn't really happen.
It didn't happen as much as I thought it would.
Which I'm happy because when she took her helmet off, I was gonna be like, oh, a girl skater, but wow.
It almost,
But it never really
almost
gets
made
brought
me feel
up.
bad for even thinking that they were gonna go that far. But then I remember it's Disney.
They get close to it when she gets kicked off the team, but not really because the only reason she gets kicked off is because she went on one date with Johnny Kapahala.
I think the closest that they actually got was how uninvolved. She talked about how uninvolved her father was.
Oh, her
Which,
absent,
like,
that would
that
say
was like,
absentee
ooh,
father.
that's the
And what was
closest
the
we
deal
got.
with her mother?
Probably dead.
she's dead.
That
I don't
she,
know.
like,
You know,
lives
when
over.
characters are dead in Disney Channel movies, they just don't talk about them. Just
Anyway,
don't talk about it.
they follow Chris to a barge set up with a skate park.
Oh,
which
right.
is
It's
a
not
really cool
sketchy at
setup.
all.
Which brings us to montage count 2.
Can we talk?
Um,
Yeah. So what I love about these montages is like, once again, skateboarding is one of those things where you can just get professionals to do tricks for a
Yes.
montage, like with relative ease. I think.
I'm guessing they
yeah.
don't. I kind of wasn't paying attention during the
They
montage.
didn't. Like the most they did
I
was
did that
just
during every
jump off
montage.
of a ramp and then maybe somebody like ollied or kicked
I was
flipped
playing
once.
Minecraft.
And I was like,
I just love the line from him. He's like, "Yeah, I got this friend here, and we just set up this thing on this barge."
Like,
I'm
how?
I'm just like,
Literally,
who
are
do
you a drug dealer, dude?
Yeah, like
You
like,
look like a drug dealer.
we have a bunch of boxes that you can skate
That's-
on that are filled with
See,
illegal.
Daredevils is a front for a drug empire.
You heard
That's
it
what
here
is.
first.
That's why no one shops there.
Dirt
They
Devils
still
is
report
money laundering.
profits.
Yeah, why do you think they make money? They're money launderers. They
And he was
Yeah.
moving out of state. Oh wait, no, we'll get there.
Yeah.
You think they
Um,
arrested the Dirt Devils guy because it wasn't because he vandalized the store. It was because he was
They
That was like
dripping-
down
it's,
his
it's like
cocaine
how they got
empire.
Al Capone. Like they arrested him for vandalizing the store, but then when they search his shop, they find like a whole bunch of like.
Yeah, remember
At this point, it would be marijuana.
do you remember the plot detail where the cop was like,
that's
"Can
right.
you
Yeah.
can you let us search your storage shed?" I'm like, "Oh boy,
What's in
he's
this
probably
storage?"
got like 2,000 pounds of cocaine in there."
Yeah!
cocaine and some
He's
child
got like
workers.
bricks on bricks, baby.
Anyway, before Chris can skate, Johnny and Sam show him up by skating the barge. Annoyed, Chris runs away. I do love this, where like this is their like they have such a weird way of encouraging Chris to be a nice kid.
Yeah.
Where like they start with like we're just gonna show that we're better than him, so he thinks we're cool or something. Which is like that. I don't know what effect you thought that was gonna
That
have.
was weird.
I thought, I don't know, maybe it was just the like 18-year-old of like, oh, if I show how cool I am, like then he'll
Yeah.
like me or whatever.
I mean,
before he
I
said, "Let's
understand.
go
It's
make
probably what I
friends."
would do.
Yeah.
Like, if a kid was being to me, I'd like try and humiliate him.
Do a fucking kickflip in front of him.
Yeah,
just like, hey kid, check
dude.
out
If
this
I could,
kickflip.
if I could do a kickflip and a kid was being mean to me, I'd do a kickflip, flip him off, and then leave.
He was like, wait, stay right here. And you like run to your car, you pull out a skateboard, you run back, you do a kickflip in his kitchen, and then you just run out.
Yeah, like he had that whole talk about like these guys aren't really your friends. They probably want you to prove yourself, huh? He's like, maybe. Okay, and
Wait,
then like I'll just show them I'm cooler than you. So
is that how Tony Hawk proves he's Tony Hawk to other people? He
Is
just
by doing
like
a
pulls out a skateboard and just does a
Oh my
kickflip.
gosh.
I think at this point, Tony doesn't care.
Well,
Yeah,
people,
well he's doing NFTs.
Tony's like,
so
another tweet.
people just don't know who Tony Hawk is apparently.
Yeah.
So
anyway, when he
I'm
gets
just waiting
home,
for him to change his name to Tony Eagle.
he'll change his name to Tony NFT Hawk before he'll change his name to Tony Eagle.
He'll change his name to Ethan Hawke.
I'm gonna try not to do any slow zooms on myself in this edit. There's
He'll try to change
there's
his name to
multiple
Maya
in the
Hawke.
last episode where because it was freaking Liab and Rachel, so
Oh,
it was
they,
just
they probably went off. That would have been
What was that
amazing.
on?
it,
Was it Bolt?
Yeah, it was on the Bolt.
Yeah,
thing.
okay. That movie's garbage.
When Chris gets home, he gets into a fight with Johnny and tells him to leave him alone. So the next morning, Johnny goes surfing.
At this point, the parents were like there, and I think it was really funny.
The parents
he like
just-
the kid just ran in, Chris, and he's just like, "Get him away!" from
Chris,
the
yeah,
person. I'm
Chris
going to my
literally runs
room."
into Johnny's mom while she's like carrying ceramic plates, and I'm like, if she drops that,
Yeah.
Chris is just dead.
I do
Like,
also love backtracking a little bit. After they get picked up by the cop and dropped over, and Johnny tries to be like the typical Disney Channel older sibling figure and being like, "No, it was all my idea." Yeah, and the parents are like, Chris, you're grounded.
They just saw straight
They
through
saw
Chris's
like, yeah.
Which
and
finally,
also like the cops
that's
like,
it, that's good.
yeah, like Johnny says, "Oh, it was all my idea. I'm sorry," and the cop looks at him and goes, "He's fine. This is Chris's second warning." I'm like,
And
yeah, and then Chris is like, "But Johnny said it was his idea."
and it might have been one of those like contexts
Like-
because remember that cop, like Johnny lived on the island before then, so
yeah,
like
the cop
Johnny-
probably knew Johnny.
Johnny has a promising career ahead of him,
Well,
and
remember,
you don't.
what we know
So-
about Johnny is that he's
what are Johnny's career plans?
yeah,
I don't know.
he doesn't either.
just keep the
Make
surf
it,
shop open. I don't know.
Political joke. That's all.
I mean, he's a pretty good snowboarder. Maybe like
Oh my gosh.
maybe like Sean White will come and be like, "Hey, you can snowboard," and then turns into a pro snowboarder because that's how it works in 2007. I don't know.
Honestly, it's always just the pro show up in the end of the movie, and they're like, "Whoa!"
I am kind of bummed that Shaun White didn't get a medal.
It happens.
Yeah.
Also,
This is his
remember
last
he was
Olympics.
7 years older than everyone else.
True, that is
than
true.
the second oldest member in the field.
I mean, there was that
and
one
he's won
plenty of
during
medals.
was like I don't remember which event it was, but there was that one 40-year-old who like got silver, I think.
Yeah, but snowboarding's a bit of a different game because also Shaun White has been snowboarding since he was like 6.
Yeah,
so
he got
Olympic
his
chess.
gold in
Oh.
Pyeongchang, so he's good. Anyway,
he got 3 golds.
Let's play
Like,
Olympic
yeah.
checkers.
Oh, he did? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he has 3 golds. He won one in, I want to say one in Pyongyang, one in Pyeongchang, one in Vancouver, and one in Italy. I don't remember where the
Italia.
actual city, but
So
The
Johnny goes
greatest snow
surfing.
on earth.
Johnny
He bumps
was-
into Valerie
Ooh.
and gives her a surfing lesson, which makes
Mm.
Chris jealous and
Honestly,
upset.
you just like
Because I guess Chris has a
Chris, you're 12.
Chris is like into.
We leaned way too
So-
far into
oh
that.
my
Wait,
gosh.
wait. Is Chris gonna be like a victim of cougars when he gets older?
Absolutely. I mean,
Damn.
look, it's in the family genes. Look
Unless
at the
he's just always
grandpa.
into 20-year-olds, and
Wait,
then
no.
as he
that's-
ages, he just
that's
gets
a-
weirder. and
that's
That's a
weirder.
silver fox. That's
Yeah,
a little
the
bit
grand-
different.
No.
The freaking grandpa's wife is like half his age. I mean, good for him.
I mean,
Can we
Yeah,
talk? I don't give
And like,
a shit
it's not
about
a
the
sugar
age
daddy
difference that much.
situation because that guy is poor.
The way that they were talking, the way that the grandpa was talking whenever she was out of the room, I'm like, is this relationship broken, or is that what you're trying to like infer? Is
seems
that what I'm
pretty
supposed
strange.
to infer?
Which
They're like,
Yeah.
what's wrong, Grandpa? Why you sad? And he's like, we gotta start this business. I'm helping her out. I'm real worried. And
yeah,
like,
like he's
you don't seem like a businessman, Grandpa. It's like
just
it
like
sounds
Karate
he's
Kid
not
3.
being himself when he's in this relationship.
I mean, the other weird thing is like, oh, I guess we're not to the confrontation part where
No, we're not yet.
We're okay.
Oh,
I'll
we're
explain
nowhere
this once we get
This
there.
is probably like 20 minutes into the hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah,
This
we're
movie's long.
gonna blitz through
Do it.
a lot of stuff.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Like
fine.
now.
Can we talk? I just want to briefly touch about the absolute 2007 energy of the girl writing her name in Sharpie on the back of his hand.
Yeah.
So
oh
he-
yeah.
so
I
he-
was like,
so
that
he
is
can
such
go
a
home
2000s
and call
move.
her entire family's landline, hoping that she's the one to pick up.
Yeah, I was like, that is such a
Hold on, this
2000s
was
move.
the time of cell phones. He had a cell phone in the movie.
I did
And-
in 2007.
And
I was
her dad
11.
is rich.
her dad is rich.
Oh, her
yeah.
dad is
Her,
rich.
her dad
She
is
wouldn't
rich
have a
and
cell phone.
uninvolved. So he had a good chance.
Yeah, he's the uninvolved rich.
Even
dad
though
who gives
they-
her anything she wants because he's
But
uninvolved.
it's-
So
apparently
they
not a bad
create
guy in
this
this movie.
goddamn romantic tension, and then they just chuck it to the curb for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I
he's like,
still
"Oh, no,
don't
she's
understand.
just my friend.
She's just my friend,
Like, this
dude.
is a
Like,
decom. They should have at least smooched.
yeah, like right at the end, you know,
Yeah.
Well, spoiler alert.
Just
We'll
on the
talk about
cheek.
it later. We'll talk about it later.
So he's forced to hang out with Chris because
They do some long
apparently neither
They
of
do some
Chris's parents can be
longing
bothered.
loves. Yeah.
We never find out what happened to Chris's dad.
He's dead. Yeah, usually.
He died in a
No.
surfing accident.
I-
oh
No,
No,
I bet
remember
he's a
she's-
child of divorce, and
Oh.
his dad is in Philly because he talked
Oh.
about how his family's in Philadelphia.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days.
No,
chilling out,
copyright.
maxing
No,
out,
cool
no,
world,
no.
shooting some b-ball. It's rapping. It's
Will
not singing.
Smith.
Did you see they're doing a gritty reboot? French Prince of Bel-Air.
It already has. It's already started.
Is it already started? Is that any good?
I don't know.
Will Smith, I'm so sorry about everything that's happened to you.
Why are we doing a gritty reboot of Fresh Prince?
I don't know. It's produced by Will Smith, so there's your answer.
I mean, so was the Karate Kid reboot,
It-
which was
all I'm saying it's money.
That actually wasn't that bad.
yes.
It's
The
he
first
wants
one was
money.
good. The second one was.
What second one?
Wait, was there not a second one?
No. They did not make a sequel to the Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
I could have sworn they did.
No, because then they would have had to do the Karate Kid 2 thing, but they're already in China, so they would have had to go back to the US to his home and then dealt with stuff there.
That's fair.
That would have followed the pattern, and then Karate Kid 3 would have had.
Bel-Air takes the Fresh Prince down a dark path that's better than it has any right to be.
Wait,
There you go.
Dark Path?
Because it's they take it. It's a
Yeah, because it's
drama.
like, what if you remove
Does
the
Will
fact that
Smith
it's a sick
Die
point
in the
out how
remake?
the
That would
setup of the
be
show is kind of dark.
money, but no. Huh?
Whatever. No, there's no sequel to the Jackie Chan Karate Kid.
Well, now
So
I'm
Johnny and
disappointed.
Sam blackmail Chris into coming with them for a day by. This is weird.
Okay,
They-
it was
they-
such a weird cut.
It was-
They're like,
it was so weird.
we
they-
know how to make friends with him.
this is how we're gonna get him to like us. Permanently damages.
Yeah,
hearing.
so they put these, noise canceling, like they were pretty heavy duty headphones.
And then like
just
play
on
full
his
volume
ears.
like heavy metal, and the kid nearly crawls out of his own skin.
Because,
And then they take a video of it.
Like out of context, they're like, I know how to make this underage kid like us. Let's record.
threaten to.
Let's
humiliate
record
him.
an embarrassing, humiliating video.
I'm like, why are
And
we
threaten to
doing
release it if
another
he doesn't cooperate with us.
prank
like-
war?
Yeah, that one was questionable by Johnny.
Yeah,
This is
sorry,
probably the most
Johnny.
I think it
questionable
would have
part
been
about
funnier if
And
they.
I love how Chris called it out. You know, it's a federal offense, right? And you're like, it is, Johnny.
I don't think blackmail's a felony.
Blackmail of a minor.
blackmail of a minor.
I feel like that adds some weight to it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sneaking into his bedroom to do it too.
I think it would have been funnier if they didn't
be
do the
fair.
blackmail, but they just did the headphone thing just to mess with
It's
him.
supposed to be Chris that's creepy. He's the uncle.
Yeah, to be fair though, Johnny is.
I think they should have just kept on degrading and messing with Chris, like doing the headphone thing, like putting worms in his food.
I'm Johnny
Flushing the
Kapahala, and
toilet
this
while he
is
takes it-
Jackass.
Yeah, pouring a bucket of ice cold water on in him while he's on the shower.
Just release.
I've had that done to me. It sucks.
I'm Johnny Kapahala, and this is Jackass.
Yeah, they should have just done Jackass to Chris and had that be the rest of the movie. And by the end, Chris is just a shell of a kid.
like literal burns all over his body. And
I am glad they didn't. They had an opportunity to go down he plays video games,
Ooh.
and I thought that was going to be his thing, but it's like no, he also does like
mountain
recreational
boarding,
activities.
Yeah.
He
He's
just
not-
doesn't like surfing.
Yeah.
Which is
I couldn't tell like what video game they were trying to emulate him playing.
I thought it
but-
was gonna be Star Wars from the sound effects in the background.
To
Yeah.
me, it looked like a Star Fox, but he was using an Xbox controller. So I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
who
that's what
knows?
defaults me to Star Wars.
So with rich white woman Val,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she really single white female to this whole movie. Not really.
She what?
I don't know what that
You
means.
have favorites in this movie?
Is that what that means?
What?
Single white female as a verb. I had my sister explain it to me once, but I don't know what it
A
means. so-
verb? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you say that someone's single white female to thing.
Oh,
Huh.
It's a term.
sure.
So it's like how you can turn it
It's
down
just a
into a verb
shorthand.
in Japanese. Kind of.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, I know all about
Exactly.
that.
it's a millennial thing.
Uh-huh.
With Val, they go dirt boarding and ride ATVs. To his surprise, Chris has a good time. Yeah, at first, like Chris sees big house and he's like, "Wow, this is cool."
See, I literally thought that he was saying it sarcastically.
But no, he was just
And then-
very easily.
and then they're
impressed.
like,
I know what they were trying to
"Oh."
pull, and it did not land.
And
in
then
my
he's like,
mind.
"Oh yeah, this is
Can you
Val's house." And
Imagine
they're
being
just like-
Val right now.
Yeah.
He and Johnny finally start to get along, whatever. So you went on this hot date with this new surfer bro. Who
Yeah, yeah,
survived.
yeah.
You gave him your number.
Ha!
Boom. He
Boom.
calls your number. You're like,
Ha!
okay, second date. This is happening. And he's like, hey, can I bring my uncle over so he likes me and use your ATVs?
Yeah, my uncle
But
and my
don't
best
worry.
friend.
Yeah, don't worry, my
forget
best
about
friend will be
Sam.
there to
Yeah.
Yeah, my best friend
Not
would be there
hot.
too.
Not hot. But
So I was like, okay, so
Val
not
was
only
way
are
too
you
good of a
bringing a
friend.
third wheel, but you are bringing a full fourth wheel.
yeah.
So you're not asking me out. What? No, we're just friends. Anyway, the group heads
Except
out to
Val
a-
doesn't seem kind of pissed about it, which I thought was even weirder.
No,
but,
No,
you know,
she was down.
yeah, she was like, yeah, "Okay, this is chill.
Oh, this is a run-on sentence, so I'm going to try and read it all in one breath.
Let's do it."
The group heads out to a dirtboarding event to meet Akoni, Kama, and possible sponsors, but the Dirt Devils kick Val out of the group for hanging with Johnny and Chris the competition. Oh, wait, no, that was the sentence.
I was like, that sounds complete to me.
Yeah,
It sounds fine.
I didn't see the one thing. So yeah,
period?
Akoni. Wait, I want to see if Akoni, Kama. He's an actor and a professional all-terrain boarder.
Hell yeah.
Good job.
Real
we don't
man.
know about you until this movie.
Let's check out
Honestly,
his Instagram.
you were kind of sick. Not gonna lie. Like, you pulled off some real cool stuff during that shoot. So
Good job.
if you're watching,
You're not.
props.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
He was touring with the metal band Crusty Demons this year.
First Dirt Devils.
I think no, it's not a band. It's the biggest live action sports show in the world.
Whoa.
I doubt because so many people claim that.
Does
Got
the
a
X Games
pretty-
not count as a sports show?
It's a pretty boring Instagram, to be honest.
I would dare say that the Super Bowl is the biggest sports show in. I don't know about the
Hey,
world.
What's his name again? Coney, right?
Coney 2012, yeah.
Coney Island.
A Coney comma, and possible
Hey.
sponsors. Oh yeah, but they
Buff up your Instagram. Okay.
So
Yeah.
they kick Val out for hanging out with the competition because
Mm-hmm.
in a surprise twist, Shang Tsung has decided to sell mountain boards out of his shop.
Okay. Can we talk about how he finds out about this? Because I kind of wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
So the way he finds out, the dirtboard guy,
Mhm.
capitalist, whatever his name is, he has his like 15-year-old intern, or however old these kids are.
Yes.
He goes into the shop and steals a receipt of these mountain boards from the Johnny Tsunami
he
shop.
steals like their wholesale receipt,
Yeah,
like, from
which,
their
like,
supplier.
Ain't that a crime?
That's a crime.
I
Don't
was
worry,
just
many more crimes to be had.
I was just like, what the? Like, are you trying
And
to get this kid in
then-
juvie?
And then Colonizer shows up to explicitly threaten Johnny Tsunami, being like,
Genius.
"Oh, I see we're in competition now. You asked for this."
yeah, he's like, I should be the only one selling boards on this island, and I'm
You
just
know,
like, well, I mean,
the
I
guy's
don't
like,
even think
"Hey,
mountain boards.
it's just
make
a few
money,
buds,
but-
man. That's a
Colonizer
New Zealand
looks
accent.
like the kind of guy who just wanders around his apartment
I can't believe it was
in
Shang
a
Tsung. I didn't
kimono,
realize.
and he has like
Your sword is mine.
a katana just mounted to his wall.
Does
That's
he?
what he looks like to me.
Oh, the white guy.
Oh, so what
Yeah.
you're saying is he's a weeaboo.
What you're saying is that
Yeah, okay,
while
okay.
Johnny Tsunami was partying, he was studying
but
the
then
blade.
he should be super into Johnny Tsunami then, because if he's a weeaboo, he'd be like, God damn.
Well,
Japanese
apparently this Johnny Tsunami is not Japanese. He's
No, he's
Hawaiian.
people. Wait, hold on. He's a Japanese man who's supposed to be Hawaiian. You can just say he's a Japanese Hawaiian. There's plenty of those.
There are plenty of Japanese people in Hawaii, true. I mean, maybe he is supposed to be Japanese, but then in that case, Johnny Kapahala is supposed to be Japanese as well. But
Except
that,
he
that
looks-
kid is Filipino.
He
It
looks
don't make sense
Filipino.
because Disney loves double minorities.
It does. So he could have been like, yeah, I'm Japanese Filipino white.
Or I'm Japanese Hawaiian. and
Japanese
just-
Hawaiian. Yeah.
That's how they start the movie. Is they like whip pan to him, and he's like, "I'm Japanese Hawaiian." And then they whip pan.
And then Mickey Mouse puts a coin in his purse for diversity.
Yeah.
And then says, my job here is done.
Bring
Bring in the white people.
We will say there isn't very many white people in this movie.
That is good.
There's like 3,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
4,
they're all
5. Damn it!
Anyway.
Wait, no, not the moms. The moms are kinda
Oh,
chill.
I forgot about the moms.
Wait, so does
Because
that
they're
mean-
barely on
Does
screen.
that mean there's like 8 white people?
Yeah, this movie does not pass.
Damn
the
it, it
Bechdel.
doesn't pass the
No, it does not
diversity
pass the
quota.
Well, we'll get there. But
Bechdel. Beckingdale? What the am I
the
talking about?
Beckingdale test is it's a thing that you do in golf, probably. I don't know.
Oh, I got
There's a
green.
There's a scene in GoldenEye on a golf course that goes on for way too long.
Do they do a Beckingdale test? Or do they
No. James Bond switches out the guy's ball at the end and then accuses him of cheating and then scams him out of $25,000.
Genius. Well done, James
just-
Bond.
Good job, Bond.
That was not in the mission report.
Is Goldfinger Sean Connery?
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
Can
Yeah,
we-
You don't like women.
Hey,
and your
I might
dad.
say
Oh
something
yeah, there's a
controversial.
straight up essay scene with him. So
I might say something controversial. Can
Yes.
we please get a black James Bond this next one?
That's
Yeah,
not
I love it.
controversial. Idris Elba.
Idris Elba,
Let's
baby.
go.
I'd be down for Idris Elba as James Bond. He'd be perfect for
It'd be
that.
great.
I'd be down. So Chris runs away from home again. When Johnny and Sam find him, Chris is fighting with Jared, the leader of the Dirt Devils, on joining his group. And he tells him to
Jared
do...
is this the bad version of Brink?
Yeah. Oh, right. And he also kind of gives off the same vibes as the villain from Brink.
Is he just? He's the same guy. Cinematic universe.
no, he's not.
Cinematic universe.
Chris agrees to do a dangerous jump the next day during the the Jonas
final
Jonas
year.
the Jonas Brothers
Oh.
are in this scene. They play the song during
Wait.
the last montage number 4.
Oh yeah.
And
So
they're like,
can we talk
you
about?
know you gotta keep it strong. That's all American Rejects.
we
Whatever.
talk
I was
about-
like, what?
It's like
It's-
when
hold on, isn't
somebody breaks your heart
I was
and
gonna
you're
say, why not
really
try to sing the original song instead of
done.
one that people would recognize and probably copyright strike? us
really
for?
sad about it. Yeah, they're singing a song about getting your heart broken while there's a platonic play date going on. Whatever.
Yeah.
Makes
So can we
Um,
talk about how the Jonas Brothers are? I mean, I think their music has gotten better, to be honest.
Oh yeah, like the modern stuff they're putting out is like pretty good.
And
'cause
I'm
it's not
honestly,
sanitized
like-
by Disney.
It's
Mm.
super cool looking back at this movie and being like, oh my god, that's the Jonas Brothers. Like, and they're huge now. So I guess that goes to show, yes,
Hey, good
Disney
job,
stars
guys.
can make it.
Not all children's stars do drugs
Yeah.
and or die at a young age.
Thanks for having like stable relationships and not doing anything that.
Anyway,
Wait,
he's gonna do
also,
a jump. To
Let me
prove
ask you,
himself.
where the is Frankie,
Who's Frankie?
Who's
the
Frankie?
fourth Jonas brother?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
He's
I
living
never
in the
watched
walls.
the Jonas Brothers. I don't-
So it's during the rehearsal dinner for Carla and Johnny's wedding, which is also the night before the opening of the shop. Oh no!
So much happening.
Oh, no.
They're like, all right, time to go on our honeymoon. Shit.
Let's
Okay,
open a
so-
shop.
Shop to open tomorrow. Or-
Here's what I'm gonna say about this.
Yeah.
Chris does the jump.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks. He breaks his right arm.
Well, just a minor.
Then
Wait,
in the next
hold on,
scene,
his cast was in
his
the
cast
left.
is on his left
I didn't
arm.
even realize that. Oh.
Ow! How did I not see that?
I forgot he was on his right
yeah,
side.
he's literally
in
like,
pain.
my arm. And the next scene, it's the other arm.
It was on his left arm. You know,
When children don't know which arm hurts,
I
and
mean,
they're like,
in all fairness,
ow!
Disney got away with that because I didn't remember that.
It's only a mild fracture, and I'm like, bullshit. I want that thing to be snapped in half. I hate Chris.
It's a
I want
compound
him
fracture.
to lose the arm.
The bone literally was sticking out of his skin 6 inches.
6 inches.
See, rated R movie. It would be cooler.
It would be.
It must be nice.
It must be nice. It must be nice.
nice. Oh my gosh. Then okay,
on your
we get
side.
the vandalism of an elderly man's shop.
Also
like you
a C+.
do.
Yeah.
Um,
And I love how they're like, who could have done this? And I'm like, this is obvious.
yeah. What did I write down?
There's like 12 people on the island of Oahu in this movie. Who else could it be?
Okay.
Yeah, like who could this have been? Certainly not the only other competing shop that sells mountain boards.
Certainly
and
not
showed
the
up
guy.
yesterday to
Yeah, that
explicitly
literally-
threaten him.
Yeah, that literally said, "Hey, if you sell these mountain boards,
If you
we
sell these
got."
mountain boards, I'm going to burn your house down.
I mean, at least the cops were like, yeah, we'll
Hey, okay. They didn't even catch him at first though, because what they did was they caught his 15-year-old intern first.
Who
Yeah,
for some
they
reason
do.
initially did not snitch. If I was a 15-year-old, and
Oh,
they're
and
like,
I would have been
freaking-
like,
I'd be like, yeah, that alt-right.
He told me to break in.
He told me he'd give me money and gear to break into this guy's shop.
And he shows up being like, how could this have happened?
How could-
And like,
how could
I
this
get that he's
happen?
trying to save his own skin, but it got to the extent that I thought that the movie itself was trying to gaslight us into thinking he didn't do it.
Mm.
But because he was laying it
Turning
on
away.
so thick.
And then, and here's the part where they're like, "Hey, we need your full cooperation. Let me search your shed." And I'm like, "Oh shit, they're gonna find like
Yeah.
1,000
Bodies.
pounds of 1,000 pounds of cocaine, like 200 pounds of heroin, and like this is how the opioid epidemic on Hawaii got started, is because he's the front man. I don't
So-
know.
It turns out all it takes to break a marriage is a kid to break an arm and a shop to get
Oh, we get to
vandalized.
talk
Because
about
Carla
this. Yeah.
decides to move back to Pennsylvania in a conversation with Johnny's grandpa, which Chris overhears. He feels guilty about causing their breakup.
You
Probably-
better. You
Probably because he caused
So-
his mom's first divorce,
Whoa!
So here's what happened.
but doesn't know how to mend it.
like I just don't understand.
It's his fault that his mom got
But
divorced.
they just jump like leaps and bounds. It's one of those things where their store
Sudden
gets
character
broken
development.
into, and it's like,
It
oh,
feels like it's about another
like
thing,
you
but
know,
there's
when your
nothing else
store
it
gets
could be
broken
about.
into, usually there's insurance to back that type of shit up, you know. But like, oh, she's just like, no, I can't do this anymore. Like our shop got broken into.
Chris
we need to
isn't
just
happy.
get out of here. I'm just
My
like, what?
shop
The?
is
These-
too, I don't
These
love you
Hawaiians are a
Goodbye.
bad influence on my son.
I'm just like, dude, all the Hawaiians have been doing
Even though
this.
all the bad influences are white.
Yeah.
Just
Listen,
like
it was the colonizers
real
that were the
history.
problem.
It's really funny because all of them are like, I hate Hawaii.
Yeah, I'll be
yeah,
like,
we
I
want to
wanna
get
get
off
outta here.
Hawaii.
I don't know. I'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, Johnny's like,
Yeah.
oh, I see. You're from the mainland,
And
you
Hawaii,
don't like
and
us
Johnny's
Islanders.
like, hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah. Hawaii,
Yeah, it's
baby.
like, don't call me bro. I'm not your bro. And he's like, I call everyone
I call
bro.
everyone, bro. Like,
Dude, literally the entire family.
I call Val
loves
bro.
Hawaii so much. Why the fuck did they
move to Vermont.
I don't know
Even
what.
the dad is like, oh, I can't wait.
I'm so
And wait,
excited
wait.
to be back on the
Wait.
island.
Does Johnny then move back to Vermont after
They
this? Because
don't- They do not explain that.
because I thought
he was
he
just
just.
supposed to be on a vacation.
I thought he's on vacation for the wedding.
So the love interest really does make no sense.
Yeah, does he have to move back? It doesn't
Wait,
show him
is
moving
that-
back at the end.
Well, they probably
And
just
building
ran
this
out
whole
of.
relationship with Chris just to be like,
Yeah. Bye.
They just ran out of time to like
Because-
finish the story.
Yeah, because when they're at
He
the skate
didn't
park,
go
he's like,
back
we
to-
have a good skate park
he
back in
didn't go
Vermont,
back
not like
to
we
Hawaii
had.
for 4 years to visit his grandpa. So who knows when he's gonna see him again?
Oh my gosh.
Or maybe this is when Johnny's like, "Shit, I like the blonde. Let's let's move back to Hawaii for some odd reason.
Also, at one point, does Johnny become an adult and just be like, I don't have to live with your
yeah, I
parents.
don't have to live with my
You
parents
guys live
anymore.
alone.
I'm like 20 years old. I
haven't
can
surfed in 8 years, please.
please let me
I
touch
don't
the ocean
remember
again.
how. Anyway,
This little shit won't let me surf.
Johnny then says Chris is lucky he has a smart nephew, and eventually, with help from Val, Sam, and Johnny,
It's too good of a friend.
who wrote this? Johnny, with help from Val, Sam, and Johnny himself, fixed the surf shop.
Mm.
No,
Wait,
they don't
wait,
really
do they
fix
mean-
it. They like turn it into a rainforest cafe.
With-
Like they make a volcano.
With help from Val,
That's
Sam, and Johnny, do they mean Johnny Tsunami?
No,
or do
I
they
think the
mean,
person
no.
writing this just forgot they mentioned Johnny already.
Ah, okay.
Johnny, Val, that one.
Wait,
kid who
no.
never
Oh,
really seemed the
Chris.
best friend
Okay.
guy.
The
Chris.
object of the sentence is supposed to be Chris at that point.
But they messed up and got
They
the
phrased it weird. They put a
Okay.
comma where they didn't need
when
to.
they surprise the
Yeah.
Johnny and his wife, who I already forgot her name. She's such a forgettable character.
To be honest, I forgot most of the names of these
Me too. I
characters.
remember Johnny. And so when Johnny walks in and the kid jumps out, I kind of wish that there was this moment of like someone just like punched him out of just pure fright.
Wow.
Because I want someone to punch Chris. He deserves it.
Chris already broke his arm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
break the other one.
No, I want. He did that to himself. I want someone to just deck him.
Just end of episode 3 of Arcanum.
I don't know.
A kid gets punched in the face.
But still,
Jesus.
I'm watching Arcane.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got it. You should watch it.
I need to watch it just for that scene.
Oh, I forgot. I need to watch I need to watch Arcane.
You need to watch Arcane.
I actually
apparently
played
that's why I
League
need
back
to
in
watch
the day.
Invincible too.
It was
Spoiler.
I know
Absolutely.
nothing about League. I just watched it for the animation.
Watching
and worth
League-
it.
Hey, for those of you, I know we're talking about Johnny Tsunami right now, but like, just don't start League if you're going to try and play League. Just don't. Do it.
What I
It's
hear is like
pain.
if you watched Arcane and you want to get into like that universe,
No,
there
don't-
are other games
yeah,
besides League of
do
Legends.
not play.
Oh,
It's like
uh,
Legends
play-
of Runeterra or something.
No, Legends of Runeterra is good. Play. What's the RPG? Something of the Ruined King. I don't remember. I wanted to say Blade of the Ruined King, but that's
what
a
I heard
weapon.
about. Yeah,
So do the
Froth.
Ruined King one
Froth,
and
Froth.
go play
The-
that
the-
RPG instead because
the golf game where you hit frogs. Froth.
No, I'm saying froth, like an
Oh,
object. Like
okay.
on top of the...
Anyway,
fuck League of Legends is the
I'm
point.
gonna be late to work, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
How close are
Late.
we?
It doesn't matter as long as I get all the tests done.
Time is arbitrary.
They decide to stop hanging out with the Dirt Devils, which is good because they got kicked out anyway. So,
Yep.
Took him like a whole movie. God damn.
the opening of Johnny's grandpa's store is a huge success, and even pro dirt boarder Akoni Kama comes. I thought this was the end of the movie. Meanwhile,
Me
across the
too.
street, the Dirt Devils find Troy in a heated argument with Val's dad over negotiations for him to move to California.
Yeah, I thought this was the end of the movie, and then I looked and I'm like, shit, there's still 30 minutes
Yeah.
left.
It's so... It's
Oh,
a
this
surprise
is-
third act
this
that
has-
didn't need to exist.
This
Yep.
has my favorite line in like the whole history of Where Streams Come True. When he's arguing with Val's dad, the businessman, he's like,
Mhm.
"You can't do this to me. We had a verbal contract." Like,
I mean, verbal agreements are actually legal.
Verbal
binding,
agreements are legal, but
but
like,
you need a third party present.
yeah.
yeah, which they didn't have. Like, welcome to capitalism.
Because what happened? That businessman made that deal in his shitty mountain board shop
We haven't
in
talked
the
about the-
darkness where nobody saw it.
We haven't talked about Val's dad enough. Because
Well,
we
neither
need
did
to
the
talk
movie.
about the comment of my dad likes to own things. What the what kind of Donald Trump mother is this? Like he just owns things because he wants to? Does it get him off? I don't understand.
Did you see her goddamn house?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
think
the
she's
house.
the only
the
person that
ATVs.
lives there?
He bought like a dirt.
He's
a
got
boarding
he's got a few sugar babies.
trail. Like what in the world?
Well, hey, his wife's dead. He can do whatever he wants.
I don't
I'm
think the
saying,
wife is
why is this guy
dead.
painted as a good guy? It sounds like he's buying up like half the island, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he just likes to own things." He's
He
just- oh, what a quirky guy.
Oh,
he's
and-
not like
and
the other guys.
Does he do? He does something with Johnny's grandpa's shop or something because Johnny had like a business meeting with him.
I think he helped finance his
Oh,
shop.
no,
Yeah.
it wasn't the
Johnny's
shop.
like, we're gonna
It wasn't the
lose
shop.
What was
money.
it?
It was. We'll talk about this in a second.
Oh.
Keep reading.
I remember.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
I remember.
I don't.
So yeah.
don't.
But the man knows about capitalism now, and
Yep.
that a verbal agreement is
He
not
finally learned.
enough. They can be binding, but you need a written agreement, man.
I love it when they try to paint
Montage count. We're at like 5 now or something.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny and Chris finally reach terms of friendship, and Chris helps Johnny with the race by describing the course set up by
Wait, are they not
Val's
even going to
father.
get to the fact? Okay, never mind. I'll just explain it then.
Yes.
So what happens is Johnny Tsunami was talking
skip
to
a
the
lot.
bank dude because he was trying to fund that mountain board course.
Oh, the course.
So they could
Yeah,
have a safe and legal
Yeah,
place to
because remember
mountain
they kept getting arrested or whatever because
Right.
they kept going on private property. So
Oh,
he's like,
being a good.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so Johnny Tsunami was like, here, let me buy this literal like gigantic spot of property and turn it into a mountain board track.
Yeah,
That's insane.
very cool. And yeah, so you're gonna have
So
to
what
help me with this.
happens was, yeah,
The,
so
the
what-
race happens because
because
Johnny goes up to Troy
and he's
is
like, hey, buzz off because Troy is going after Val's dad because
he probably
the
does say
verbal
buzz off.
contract. So
He's just turned into.
so
a
he's like,
Karen.
hey, like you leave everybody alone if I. He's like, I don't think you can actually go on this mountain board. So how about this? If I win this race, you leave everybody alone. And he's like, fine. If I win, Johnny Tsunami has to stop selling mountain boards, and I can be the only one on Oahu
okay.
to sell mountain boards
So,
or whatever. So
season 4 of Cobra Kai.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Oh yeah. I
don't
guess
know.
kind of like season 4 of
Spoilers.
Cobra Kai. Spoilers.
It felt so unnecessary.
It was like, why do you even need to race this guy?
Yeah,
he
like,
who
lost.
sells-
Like,
who sells
It's
mountain
like, oh
boards on
yeah,
the
we're
island
gonna
of
see
Oahu.
if this freaking fit 18-year-old can win in a race against a middle-aged man who's a business owner.
Okay, I wish that the race started
Because-
and just the owner, just the big
Immediately
douchey
just
guy.
eat shit.
Yes.
yeah, just like
Because it should have been a plot point that he does not know how to ride mountain boards.
Yeah, because the way
he
they
just
set it
wants to
up-
exploit minors.
the way they
That
set
would've
it
been
up
better.
was like, oh, you don't know how to ride it, and I'm like, oh, okay, then he must suck. And he goes off on the track and he rides pretty well. Like
he just
Yeah.
screws. He
he
screws,
screws
it
up on the last part. Yeah, the
He
last
screws
trick.
up twice.
Because all you need to do is
All you need is one.
you needed to run the course and then do 3 tricks in a row.
Yes.
Yeah, which are
Riders
all the
Republic
ends.
rules.
Yeah.
Why don't they have mountain boarding in Riders Republic? They should.
Anyway, point is,
I love that game.
For some odd reason, they have this race. I think so. What happened was the creators of Johnny Kapahala back on board must have gotten like some really nice high action cameras that they didn't know how to use, but they were like, we got to use these anyway. So they're like, let's fit one last action sequence in
Which brings us to montage count
number 6, right?
6.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
5
I
or
think
6.
it's 5.
It
because
feels
you
like
mentioned
baby.
5
This
earlier.
sequence feels like
and we haven't
baby's
moved
first
on.
editing project because every single shot has a different filter on it.
Oh,
Like, it goes
did it-
purple.
Negatives,
Did you-
silver
black and white?
Yeah, did you feel
saturation.
like that thing was out of focus half the time? Like it felt like
Oh yeah. They're like, oh, they can't tell if it's out.
Well, let's just get a bunch of action shots and then worry about
I'm
continuity of the
telling
race
you,
later.
they must have gotten like some high action camera, and they're
Exactly.
like, "Oh, we gotta use this like
They're like, oh,
for
shit, we
every
got a
single
Nari.
montage." That's why they had 6 of them throughout the movie.
So the race begins with Troy in the lead for a large portion of the time until the ending where he falls when doing one of 3 required tricks and crashes into the barrier at the
Okay,
finish line.
can we talk about the fact that Troy or whatever the hell his name is, colonizer,
Yes.
tries to injure Johnny?
He's
What
like,
does he-
hey,
I wasn't paying attention,
So
honestly,
he
during that
runs
part.
his board intentionally into Johnny and
Yeah.
like nearly clips his legs, and I'm just like,
Oh.
you could have
he's
broken his
done
bones.
a lot
Like
of
what
shady
the
things.
what the dude?
So already we got the exploitation
We
of
got-
minors for money.
Got the drug
Mhm.
trafficking.
All right,
Got
and
the
then,
drug
and then he tries to
trafficking.
make one of those minors take the fall.
We
for
got the
him when
illegal
he
whaling.
makes him trash a store, but he gets caught.
He steals a wholesale receipt from a
Yeah, that
business.
too. Sorry, that earlier. And then he tries to
Freaking
ditch
inventory
all
log.
miners and move to California and just kind of leave the problems behind him.
You don't
I
want to
am
move to
not
California.
surprised that he tries to injure a miner in order to save his business.
Which, like, to be fair, his business was already failing to begin with.
rated
You
R
have no
version.
employees. You are not selling any product.
Rated R version.
You're not
he's tried to
marketing.
kill at least 3
All you do
miners.
is hang out.
Rated
with a
R
bunch
version, he's a drug trafficker and a
Yeah.
child murderer.
Yeah.
All he does is
They
hang
find
out with a bunch of
bodies.
kids. Anyway, Johnny wins and Troy's
Wait, is he a
arrested after the
pedophile
police
too?
find out.
Sure. Yeah.
Troy's arrested after the police find out he told Jared to trash the shop because Jared snitches. Yeah, Jared sucks. Carla and Johnny's grandpa finally decide to get married, and both families are finally happy. End of movie.
Yeah, where was the kiss on the cheek from the love interest?
Nope.
I'm just like, end of the
They're
race,
saving it for
Johnny
marriage.
wins. Like, what?
She keeps giving him like these weird longing looks.
Yeah, longing looks and
It,
like little
uh,
hints and
I noticed one was after they fixed up the store and they were looking at it, and then it cuts to her just like fucking
dead ass staring at
Why?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do the grandpa and Carla ever kiss in the movie either?
What? They kiss a bunch.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
Like, I counted at least 5 times.
Okay.
Why are you counting that?
Final thoughts. And
I just
moment of the
remember,
movie.
like, every time they were together, they did it, was the thing. I was like, at least 5 times.
So for you, Andrew, this is a segment we do every time. The moment of the movie can be your favorite moment, your least favorite moment, something that you just want to immortalize as your moment of the movie along your final thoughts. My moment of the movie, I know it right now, is me. As I've said before, the way I keep notes is I live text my sister while it's my reactions while it's happening because she finds it hilarious. I remember texting, I hope this kid breaks his arm. And then he proceeded to break his arm. So my moment of the movie is when Chris breaks his arm.
Okay.
And proceeds to get the wrong arm fixed.
That's great.
I wonder if there's some other
I love how you
IMDb.
just have an eye for continuity in this movie.
Well, it's because it was
Zero
that
best
one. I saw that one.
plot.
Ooh, Uncharted comes out on Thursday.
I think.
So mine is it's kind of a combined thing. One is like the fact that they're like, hey, let's exploit this guy's obvious love, or not love, just interest, like Chris's interest in Val. Let's exploit it so that he doesn't ruin his parents' marriage. So that's the first part of the moment, and the second part of the moment, which I think was really weird, was her walking in while he's packing, and he's holding like his underwear, like just like this.
Yeah,
Right when she
I
walked
thought-
in, I was like,
That
"Why are you
was
building
really
sexual
weird.
tension?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
For a second, I thought it was like
Between like an
depends or
18-year-old
something.
and a 12-year-old. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, one of the kids is named Spidey.
Spidey.
I don't even remember. Like,
He's probably just.
do you
one
even
of the
remember
Daredevil gang.
any of the Dirt Devils besides Val and
Who
like
cares?
I guess
They did
Jared?
nothing.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Okay.
there was
We have
so
more-
little interaction between them and Johnny. Like they had like a moment where they were like, "Oh yeah, cool." But like the leader of the gang was really the only one who's ever really talking.
Okay. My favorite part of the movie is probably, or well, it's not really, it's a moment that I really like to remember was specifically the verbal contracts part that you mentioned because I thought it was honestly
Very
hilarious
funny.
and it created a bunch of tension that didn't need to be there because what you could have done is just have him say, "Oh, we had a verbal contract," and then, you know, his shop gets shut down and then bang, like movie over. But
Yeah.
instead they had Johnny, his dad, and his grandpa run over and like try and defend Val's dad because like I don't know. Like
A really funny part of that moment was when they're like, "Uh-oh," and they're like, "Ha ha ha," and they're laughing, and then they're like, and then they start to walk forward very calmly, and then it cuts to the shot of
fucking running across the street.
and I'm like, "What?"
Like there was so much unnecessary tension because it didn't feel like Colonizer over there was gonna punch him or anything. It was
No.
just like
yeah, like I was like, are we gonna have a fight
yeah,
right now?
it was like in a Disney Channel original movie.
Businessman, kick his ass.
I just
So
thought like
gosh.
it was such unnecessary tension in a part where it could have been conclusive, which
Yeah.
like because it felt like there was
Oh
the
my
falling
gosh.
action
He
and then
could've
it
been
felt like
arrested
they
right
just
there.
yeah, there was the
the
falling
movie.
action, and it just felt like they didn't want the
Apparently,
movie to fall, so they tried to create another rising action.
They
because
changed the spelling of
so
Kapahala
weird.
between movies. In the first movie, it's Kapahala, and in this movie, they drop one of the A's.
Huh.
Anyway,
Why?
So I also was just curious. When's the last time you guys actually watched a Disney Channel original movie before?
The last time I had to watch a movie for this thing.
yeah, same.
which
I mean,
was,
outside of this podcast, was when was the last time we watched a
last
decom?
semester I had to watch Brink,
Okay,
which was very
So,
similar
Outside of this
plot.
podcast, when was the last time you watched
yeah,
a Disney Channel original movie?
the last Disney Channel original movie that I remember watching was Jump In, and it's that jump
I
rope one
remember
with
Jump In.
Corbin Blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the last one I
Wow.
remember.
All right.
And it was right after High School
I
Musical
want to
3.
say Aquila and the Bee is one of the ones I remember.
Wait, Aquila and the Bee, is it?
Is it a decom?
I don't
think
think
it's
so.
a decom.
It's got Kiki Palmer, and
Aquila
most of
and
her
the Bee
movies
was a
are.
full-on movie, feature-length theater release.
It
Yeah.
had what's his
It
name?
was not a made for TV.
Apparently,
What about you,
in
Logan?
one scene.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Outside of this podcast, I have never seen a Disney Channel movie.
You've
all
never
the way
seen a
through.
decom?
I
But
watched
your
a
family's
couple-
Mormon.
I know. I watched a couple of Nickelodeon
It's required
TV
viewing.
movies that I do not remember. One was about them being. There was one where they were like a band or something.
Yeah.
But then it was like a Groundhog's Day situation, and it was
Oh.
very bad.
No, Mormon people are super into decoms, which is why
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, how did you not?
In some ways, my family really doesn't fit the Mormon culture. In other ways, they really do.
Mm.
Whereas, like, it's things where like we had no problem like drinking caffeine, even in like the early 2000s when a lot of people thought that was a rule.
Oh yeah.
But we never watched like those weird church movies.
Yeah, me neither.
Decoms are the other ones.
But I
that-
couldn't like go play with friends on Sundays either.
How about you,
Same.
Collins? When was the last decom you watched before doing this podcast, of course? What was the last decom?
I don't know. I don't know.
Clearly, the Phineas and Ferb movie.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, do those
Does
count?
Phineas and Ferb count as
That's
a decom?
technically Disney XD.
Yeah, that's a Disney XD. That's not a decom.
What?
Whatever.
it,
It's Disney. It's
um,
comedy. It's on TV. I don't know what you.
Oh, it was Halloween Town.
The last Halloween Town High. or
I never
Halloween Town
I never
the
saw.
fourth?
I never saw Return to Halloween Town.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. There's 5.
There's 4.
It's 4.
Okay.
I did see Halloween.
I
Town
don't know
High.
why that's acceptable too. I don't.
No.
To be
no,
fair,
no,
Halloween Town.
The last movie I watched last year during Halloween, my family watched Halloween Town 2 because it was like on ABC or something.
My sister watches The Descendants, and I absolutely hate it.
Oh, those are garbage. Let's watch one.
I didn't think the first one wasn't.
Let's get back on
terrible.
topic, please.
Yeah,
Apparently, Troy switches from Goofy Foot to Normal Foot several times during the last scene.
What do you mean?
Just
Goofy
continuity-
Foot to Normal
continuity
Foot-
error, probably because one of the stuntmen was Goofy Footed.
Yeah,
and they
so
just thought no
Goofy
one would
Foot
notice.
to normal foot is like
Oh, yeah.
kind of how you
I
place your
ride
foot
goofy-footed.
on boards.
My
yeah.
my
Collins
right
can
foot
explain.
my right foot is forward.
Okay.
I
I
don't know
obviously Then it's obviously stunt.
which is usually
Yeah.
if you're left-handed you're goofy footed, but I'm not. So I don't know why I'm goofy footed. I just am.
okay.
Anyway, the
So-
most depressed.
Yeah.
Time to rank the movie. Oh boy. I'm gonna start from the top of the ranking as usual.
All right.
When you hear something that you think is worse than this, then we can place it there. Starting at the top with Frozen 2, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, Last Jedi, Hamilton, The Muppets 2011, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Finding Dory, Fish Hooks, Cars, The Simpsons, Hatching Pete, Noelle, Hocus Pocus, The Incredible Hulk animated, Toy Story Toons Small Fry,
Do you just say Toy Story?
Lizzie McGuire. This is worse than Lizzie McGuire.
Definitely.
Growing not the movie, the
This
show.
is dipping in
Oh.
my knowledge.
Yeah.
So.
Growing Fangs. Yeah,
I
it's a
don't
short.
remember that one.
Tom and Huck. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. It's got to go below that.
Oh really?
Oh, dude, Sister Act 2 is a ton of fun. But the nostalgia filter is firmly over a lot of
I
these.
was
Yeah.
gonna
Yes,
say,
yeah,
I was
for
gonna-
sure.
I'm like, Sister
This
Act
this
2.
whole ranking is just an experiment in recency bias. X-Men 2000 movie. Mickey Mouse Hawaiian Holiday, Lend a Paw,
The fact that X-Men
Recess, Brink. This is better than Brink. I think
You think it's better than Brink?
Yeah, I think this is better than
production
Brink.
value, yes, but storytelling,
no.
It is so much less cringy than Brink.
It has a surprise third act.
What's
that did
below
not
Brink?
need to
What's below
happen.
Brink?
The Story of the Faithful Wookiee from the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Below that? Wait, no,
Marvel.
it's better than the
Anything
Star Wars
above-
holiday.
Okay,
special.
yeah, I'm fine. Below Brink, but before Story of the Faithful Wookiee.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
That's
Then below that,
What's
we've
below
got
that?
Marvel
Brink did better
Battleworld,
than
Mystery of
that.
the Thanos Stones, Marvel Rising Heart of Iron, Spider-Man 2017 animated series, Egypt's Treasure Guardians, Little Mermaid 3, Ariel's Beginning, Bambi, Marvel's Future Avengers,
Why'd you
Mom's Got a
guys
Date with
rank
the...
Bambi so low?
Because it sucks.
Bambi's not.
High School
Bambi's great.
Musical.
Bambi's good.
High School Musical's very low.
Why is the original?
Yeah.
Why is that so low?
Because it sucks.
It does suck.
It does.
Your Friend the Rat,
Yes.
My Dog the Thief, Super Rhino. Yeah, Super Rhino got 40. Amy, Santa's Workshop, Prince Ring, Mystery of the Flamingos.
I'd actually put
So
High School
I do have a
Musical above
plan. When
Johnny
we get to
Kapahala
50,
back on board, though. Wouldn't you?
No.
Johnny Kapahala back
I
on
would
board.
not.
It's at number
I mean-
27 for those at home. When we get to 50, what I want to do is use like an anonymous Reddit account and like on r/Disney Plus, I'm gonna post like top 50.
Oh, no!
yeah. I'm gonna post it and be like,
Yes!
top 50 things on Disney Plus ranked
Watch
by this
for
podcast.
our Reddit
And, like,
post one day, guys.
Not explain the podcast,
don't.
just say like,
Just wait.
here's the top 50 things ranked on
Just
Disney
do a
Plus,
special episode.
and then we're gonna get
just gonna
so
react to the
much hate comments.
I mean, a lot of it will be focused on Bambi, I feel like.
Yeah, Bambi is not as bad as you guys.
So yeah,
ranked
look
it.
forward to that coming
That's not
soon
me.
when
I
we get
wasn't part of
to
that ranking.
um,
Bambi would be way higher.
Yeah.
that. Honestly, that's probably gonna be. We're at 44 is next. 44 is next episode. That's probably gonna be close to the end of the semester
Wait,
when
so-
we get to episode 50. So that might be like the grand finale of the Studio 76 era of Where Streams
I was
Come
going
True.
to say, I was like, aren't you going to keep going?
I'm probably gonna keep going, but that'll be like the end of our first arc.
What is the lowest?
Crimson Wing Mystery of the Flamingos. It's a Nat Geo documentary about
Okay.
flamingos that is
What's
dreadfully-
above that? Just something that I know.
Santa's Workshop. It's
What do you have
a
against Nat Geo
it's an old and
documentaries?
it's an animated short that has some subtle blackface in it.
What's above that?
Amy, which is a show about teaching deaf kids how to talk.
These are so obscure. What's above that?
A kid gets run over by a train. Super Rhino.
Oh, I forgot. about
Super
that.
Rhino is the animated short based off of Bolt. My
Why
dog
is that so low?
because it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I was
makes
like, I
he
feel
makes
like
a bunch of like Josh Gad-esque jokes and then sings Best of Both Worlds by
Oh,
Miley Cyrus.
Right.
Oh.
is this the hamster?
Yeah,
And
it's the
he just-
hamster.
Why did they ever
Anyway.
make that a Disney short?
Is bad. Film information and statistics for you. This was written by Ann Austin, Douglas Sloan, Max Ensko, and Annie DeYoung. This had 4 writers on it. Directed
Okay.
by Eric Bross.
Maybe that explains why the plot is just so wishy-washy.
Yeah, because
and
there's
like,
4 plots.
Yeah, because like they were all trying to do their own thing.
It was released June 8th, 2007. Has a runtime of 90 minutes. IMDb score of 5.5 out of 10.
That's higher than I thought it would be.
No critic score, but 67% audience.
That's also higher than I thought it would
I
be.
think
It-
5.5 is about right.
It's not on the Bechdel test website, but to my knowledge, it fails the Bechdel test
Yeah.
because
What
I
is the-
believe
Okay, sorry.
only
What
like-
is the
I
Bechdel
believe
test?
It's 2 women in a room alone having a conversation that's not.
they don't
about
necessarily
romance.
need to be in a room alone, but they need to
Okay,
be
fair
two
enough.
two named female characters having a conversation, not regarding a male character.
And they would almost pass if it wasn't like all the.
They were talking.
conversations
They were
being about
talking.
Chris.
They were about Chris.
They were about
Little
Chris, yeah.
shit, Chris is. If Chris
The-
wasn't a little shit, then maybe it would pass it.
The one thing is like
Cult test.
they,
The cult. There's no cult in this movie.
both the protagonists were male.
I think.
was the issue. So like that automatically makes it fail the Bechdel
You don't think
test.
the Daredevils are a cult with?
There's been a couple
Colonizer
movies
being the
where
main
like
leader.
it would pass, but like the female characters didn't have names, so
Huh.
But you don't think that there's a cult with the Dirt Devils? I mean,
I don't think they're a cult.
okay.
There's a
it's like
surprising
this
number of
leader who
movies we've
just
watched
is
that have had
promising
cults.
them all this shit that actually
That's fair.
actually
Yeah,
comes to
it is kind of
fruition.
cult.
In Hatching Pete, they do worship the school mascot, so that's where this started.
Hatching Pete is actually kind of not terrible. Though.
No, I liked Hatching Pete.
I really liked Hatching Pete.
Hatching Pete was fun. Now it's time
Hatching
to
Pete is about it's a basketball one about a mascot. It's kind of fun.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now it's time to spin the wheel. This week's wheel. This is for Rachel's next episode. Was submitted via email by Jose. I did put an accent mark, but I'm going to assume it's Jose, and it's the Lego wheel.
Whoa.
Oh, gosh.
I am so happy to not have to watch it.
So you are new to the social. You will spin the wheel. The wheel is right over there. Just walk off frame and yell yeet as you spin it. I love when people pick up on this. It's going. It's going. Most of this is Lego Star Wars, but there's like one Frozen thing. It is. I can't read the whole thing. Lego Star Wars: The New Yoda Chronicles Race for the Holocron. The new wheel. I think we're past the point of making a Valentine's Day episode that ties in, so you don't have to
that's
pick
fine.
that.
I'm not gonna.
We got Disney, which is literally everything. National Geographic Exploring Our World Collection. That's been on there for more than a year. Disney Channel Collection, National Geographic Animals and Nature Collection, Halloween, Spark Shorts, Disney Junior, Celebrate Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month, Disney Parks Collection, Valentine's Day Collection, and IMAX Enhanced.
I really want to ruin your guys' lives and go with
It's
the
just
Nat
mine.
Geo.
Okay, which one? Exploring Our World?
Yeah, Exploring Our World.
Okay. Thank you, Xantos. National Geographic Exploring Our World Collection. We're going to
There you
learn
go.
something.
You're gonna.
This will be a nice change of pace from some really dumb plot.
Yeah.
You don't like
Just
watching
don't rank
Disney
it really
Channel
low like the
originals?
last Nat
Not
Geo.
anymore.
I think you gotta rank it for what it is.
You don't like my guy
You can't
Double
be like,
Team?
oh, there's no lore or characters in this Nat Geo.
Where's the
documentary."
lore in the
Yeah.
Flamingo documentary?
Yeah, I think you gotta rank it for what it is. So
I think Exploring Our World is better than Animals and Nature. And if someone submits another Nat Geo wheel, I'm going to be mad at you. So
yeah,
don't.
do Planet Earth.
I haven't gotten an email in a while, probably because we haven't done an episode in a while.
I don't know Planet Earth. It's on Disney Plus.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Review us on whatever podcast service you use to listen and share with your friends. You can send your reviews or comments to WhereStreamsComeTrue@gmail.com, at Studio76WSCT on Twitter. You can submit a wheel such as a category search term on Disney Plus when you send in your review and we read it on the show. Or submit a recording on anchor.fm/WhereStreamsComeTrue. That's the end of the episode.
No.